Let's talk about hormone replacement therapy, and it can be a hope when it comes to a lot of people and the potential issues that they're going through, but there are some risks with it. Let's go through it in this video. My name is Eric Schmidt. I'm a board-certified OBGYN, minimally invasive gynecologic surgeon. In this video, we're talking about hormone replacement therapy and the risks that may be associated with it. As with a lot of things, there's been certain trends when it comes to hormone replacement therapy. Decades ago, a lot of women in their 40s or 50s were just given it because even if they didn't have symptoms. And well, what they did is ran a study on this. You've probably heard of the WHI study. This study concluded in the early 2000s, and it actually showed that potentially in some women, there is an increased risk of things like blood clots or venous thromboembolism, VTE, we might call it, strokes, potential increased risks of breast cancer in people taking hormone replacement therapy. And this was a scary thought. It led to significant changes. And with these results of this study, a lot of the prescriptions and the treatment of vasomotor or hot flashes or other things surrounding the perimenopause, menopause time transition significantly changed overnight. People were not given hormone therapy for these options, left kind of with nothing, and it significantly impacted a lot of people. It also unfortunately led to significantly less education about the topic because often the teachers at the time were saying, it's not, this is dangerous, and so we're not going to teach it anymore to our students, to our residents, and so there's a whole generation of doctors that were kind of thought this was going to be significantly bad for a lot of perimenopausal, menopausal women. However, there were some things that came to light about this study, is that one of the big factors is the mean age of the population in the study was 63 years old. Now, this is generally after the menopausal transition. And so they did a lot of sub-analysis of this, found that a lot of these issues, blood clots, strokes, breast cancer risk, was often in women greater than 60 years old. And so maybe we were depriving the people that needed it the most in the age range of, 45 to 55 of these potentially life-altering improvements from hormone replacement therapy. So let's go over some of these common concerns with HRT and the risks associated with them. So the breast cancer risk. I've now developed a calculator to help us see whether or not we should have increased concern. And this is it right here. This risk calculator put out by the National Cancer Institute from the NIH has a number of questionnaires, and it gives you your percentage increased risk of breast cancer. And so we often use that number. So once we find out each individual's 5-year risk with that number of developing breast cancer, we've categorized that into low, intermediate, high of concern and their risk category. And so if somebody has a less than a 1.67 there, the hormone therapy should be just fine. If somebody's risk kind of falls intermediate, it's a discussion, mutual decision. But if someone's greater than 5% there, often we're talking about avoiding it due to your increased risk. Let's take a peek at this table, which we're going to be using for a lot of the discussion here, and look at this, okay? At the top here, we have number of females per 1,000 of 5 years use. And so the more the number goes to the right, the more benefit, the more the number goes to the left, the more risk for each individual topic. You see there invasive breast cancer, and you have blue, which means they estrogen only, and then estrogen progesterone only would be that tan color. And so you see if someone's just getting estrogen therapy, they actually have a potential protective benefit 2.5 per 1,000 versus estrogen progesterone, maybe a little increased risk, 2.5 per 1,000 increased risk over the average there. Now let's talk about the heart effects, because this was a concern. Is this somebody increased risk of cardiovascular disease, stroke, blood clots? And so the American College of Cardiology, American Heart Association came up with their own risk calculator, their 10-year cardiovascular risk. And so if somebody fits in a low, moderate, high, again, kind of if it's low, less than 5%, or if you're moderate, 5 to 10%, or if you're high, greater than 10% risk, you might be okay or kind of a mutual decision or not okay with hormone replacement. And so what you can do is you can go online and find out your own risk yourself. And your doctor, if they're prescribing, often will be going through this or computing it themselves to figure out if you are okay for these hormone replacement options. But if we again look at that chart, there, the coronary artery disease, again, estrogen was protective in these age group. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but this is a sub-analysis done on women 50 to 59, so younger than the mean population of the WHI, the most that are going to be most affected by the hormone replacement. And so, again, coronary artery disease or coronary heart disease improved. 5 people in 1,000 in the estrogen-only option. Estrogen, progesterone, maybe a little riskier potentially. There, 2.5 out of 1,000 increased risk. And so those are the 2 big issues when it came to investigating this study. And since that study was done 20 years ago, we potentially have even improved our delivery methods or the route of administration of these medications. Often the clot risk is less with the patch or the transdermal route. The dosage is lower. We have lower dosage options for somebody to try to achieve the goal of feeling better, not being without hot flashes. And even the type of medications. These studies were done with a medicine called medroxyprogesterone, but we're often using a micronized progesterone, which is thought to be potentially safer. And just to go through the rest of this table, you can kind of look at these other risks. Stroke, pulmonary embolism, DVT, colorectal cancer, endometrial cancer, lung cancer, fracture risk. Look at that improvement on the fracture risk, or diabetes improvement. And so the all-cause mortality is a big one too. Then significantly improved in both arms there. And so it's a calculation of the risk and what means most for each individual patient. And you have to realize that while some of these bars seem big, it's number of increase per 1,000. And so often this is a less than 1% risk increase. Another point to make is that currently the FDA really only recommends the hormone replacement therapy for the disruptive vasomotor or hot flash type symptoms. So how can you potentially decrease your risks when it comes to all this? Even more importantly, improving your cardiovascular health, your diet, just like we illustrated in the previous videos about preparing for menopause. This is why I was kind of saying that, is because you can decrease your own risks of hormone replacement by having good cardiovascular health, not smoking, all of those things I said for a reason in that video, and it's to hopefully make you potentially a better candidate if hormone replacement could be an option for you. So all in all, here are the take-home points. Number 1, overall, hormone therapy is very safe. Unless you have certain issues like personal history of breast cancer, significant pulmonary cardiac disease, or if somebody has a history of things like strokes or blood clots, or if somebody doesn't have a healthy heart, lung, cardiovascular system, we might be more cautious with those people. That's why we use those risk calculators to help us further decide who is at higher or lower risk for these medications. And as we try and work our way back from the WHI study and how drastically things changed, we can now hopefully more diligently give appropriate therapy to appropriate people. Again, age plays a big factor in that, because you still want to be given these medications while somebody is having or still has those estrogen receptors to take in the medication. Because if somebody's too far past menopause, example in their 60s, you're giving probably no benefit, only putting that patient at risk. And if somebody does fit the low risk categories, and they look at this chart and they're like, you know what, these are pretty low risks, or these risks are too high. It's an individual choice whether someone wants to try the hormone replacement. There are other options that don't have these risks, but they're going to be less effective. The non-hormonal options, whether that's the antidepressant class medications, the gabapentin class medications, or the new Veoza type medications. There are some newer things keep coming out to give those people who have absolute counterindications to hormone replacement therapy, like breast breast cancer potential options. And so I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope it illustrates some of the points. And again, it's an individualized decision. We'll talk to you soon. Everyone have a great day and a great weekend.